Dear students, welcome to the C programming class. Welcome to C programming class. Okay, in today's class, we are going to study about the arrays. Okay, in today's class, we are going to study the array concept. What do you mean by array and how you are going to declare that arrays and how to initialize that arrays. In the last class, we completed the almost all types of the loops. Okay. So, what do you mean by array? First, let us see the definition. Okay. What is an array? An array is a collection of similar elements stored in adjacent memory locations. Okay. Let us revise once again. What is an array? An array is a collection of similar elements. An array is a collection of similar elements. Collection of similar elements. Stored in adjacent memory locations. Stored in adjacent memory location. MEMORY. Memory location. Actually, in simple form, if I want to tell you what is an array means, array is a collection or the set of similar data types. Okay, in simple way, if I want to tell the array definition means it is a set or sequence or collection of similar data types. Okay, all of you know what do you mean by the data types. Similar data types. What is the necessary of using the array? Okay, till now we have studied the fundamental data types. Okay, what are the fundamental data types? Int, float, char, double. So what we studied, no, these are called the primary data types or the derived data types. Fundamental data types. Okay, these are called the fundamental data types or the primary data types. What happens in this primary data types or in the fundamental data types means these we are using to store only the one characters or the single bit. Okay, for example, so integer is nothing, only single value it can store. If I want to store the 10, then we are using the integer value. If I want to store something that is 20.2 like that I want to store, we are using the float. If I want to use any character, then I want to use character to store yes, then I am using the character data type. Whereas double we are using, if you want more precision in the float, then we are using the double. Okay. And once again, just I will revise you. To store one integer value, it takes how many bytes? 2 bytes. Similarly, to store one float value, it takes 4 bytes. To store one character, it takes only 1 byte of memory. Okay, so when you are using this fundamental data types, it can be used to store only the single value. Okay, that means what? Here if I have declared int a is equal to 10, then here what happens in the memory, one variable name with it has a some address, let us say 2010 is reserved. Okay, so here what happens, I want to store the 100 integer values. Okay, the applications like I want to store the test numbers. How many numbers you have taken. So if I am having the 65 students, I want to store the 65 numbers. Similarly, I want to store any employee data. So I am having totally 100 employees are there. I want to store that 100 data. Then what we have to do? One thing is you have to declare the 65 variables. Okay, like this. This is only the declaration of one variable. Correct? In the same way, if I want to store 2 means what you are doing? You are taking A and B and we are giving some B is equal to 10 like that. Similarly, I want to store 3 means you are using the 3 variable. In the same way, if I want to store 65 means what we have to do? You have to declare 65 variables is of the data type int. If you want to store float, then you have to take it as a float. If you want to store 100, then you have to declare 100 variable. Okay, this is the one method. Another method is you have to use the array technique. Okay, what is the another method? Another method is you are going to use the array. So here just you go here once again, see the definition. What is the definition of the array? Array is nothing but it is set or the collection of a similar data types. Okay, that means if I want to store the 65 integer values, then I can declare as int a, but where I have to declare this in the square bracket, you have to say that 65 and the semicolon. When you are telling int a of 65, it implies that this is a declaration of the array. It implies that a is nothing but it is called a subscripted variable. A is called what? The subscripted variable. It holds how many values? 65 values. Okay. So this is called the declaration of the array. It holds how many values? It holds totally 65 values. Okay. Let us write the syntax of this one. What is the syntax mean? Syntax for the array declaration. Syntax for the array declaration is data type, data underscore I have written. If you want, you can directly also write data type. And here I am going to write the variable name, and in the square bracket I am going to write the size. Okay, just you compare this. This is actually the example of the array. First I have written the example for the understanding purpose. Okay, so here what happens? First you have to write the data type. So here what I have written, this is int is a data type. Variable name, what is the name of the variable? A, and here it is called a subscripted variable, and in the square bracket you are going to mention the size. That means how many variables you want to read and print and how many variables you want to use in your array. Okay, let us write the another example for the float here. Okay, so here what happens when you have written this means it is 65 integer values are going to read and print. Similarly, if I want to read the float, then I am going to declare it as a data type is float. Let us take the variable name as s. Let us take the size as 10. What it means? It means there is a subscripted variable name is a. Yes, it is going to read the 10 float values. Okay. Let us hope all of you are following me. If you have any doubts means you can ask by putting the comments in the comment box, sorry, in the Telegram app, you can ask me the question. Okay? Okay. Now, let us move to the important things about array. First important thing is, whenever you are using the simple variables, what is important in the C program? You should declare that before using. Okay, in the same way, array is also declared before using. Okay, first one is declaration is must. Declaration is must. M-U-S-T. Next, let us see. You think that you have declared the variable that is int a of 10. What is its meaning? Its meaning is you are going to read the 10 integer value. Okay, here what happens, in the memory there are 10. 10 is nothing but how much? Here each integer value takes how many bytes? 2 bytes to store one value. Like that we are going to store the 10. Totally how many bytes? 20 bytes are reserved. Totally how many bytes reserved? 20 bytes. So you see here, you think that this is a one memory map if I have drawn. Okay, here 2 bytes for the first element. How you are going to say the first element means a of 0 is nothing but your first element. In that a of 10, what happens? A of 0 is nothing but it is called a first element array. Okay, similarly a of 1 is nothing but second element in the array. A of 2 is nothing but third element in the array. Like this, if I continue, A of 9 is nothing but 10th element in the array. Okay, so remember that we are saying that it is going to hold the 10 integer value. Remember that in the C, it begins with the A of 0. A of 0 is nothing but your first element. A of 1 is nothing but second element. For the A of 0, 2 bytes is reserved. And for the A of 1, another 2 bytes memory is reserved. A of 2, another 2 bytes is reserved. Like that, how many bytes? Totally 20 bytes. Final one is A of 9. This is the memory allocation. Okay, this is what your memory allocation. And remember that they are stored in consecutive memory locations. It is also very important in the array. One important point is all the elements are stored in consecutive memory. Consecutive is nothing but you think that it is the address is 2000. What is the next address? Next address is 2000 plus 2, that is 2002. Next address is 2004. Next is 2006. Like that it continues. Okay, so in the first definition, I think we told the same thing. What is the first definition? An array is a collection of similar elements stored in adjacent memory locations. Okay, adjacent are the consecutive memory location. It is also very important point in the arrays. Okay, so let us revise once again. Okay, what happens when you have declared int a comma 10? It is going to store the 10 integer values. In that a of 0 is nothing but first element of the array. A of 1 is nothing but second element of array. A of 2 is nothing but third element of array. In the same way, which one is the 10th element? A of 9 is the 10th element of the array. And if we come for the memory position, what happens totally to store one integer value, it takes the 2 bytes of memory. If I want to store 10 means totally 20 bytes of memory is reserved. Okay, 20 bytes of memory is reserved. So you see here A of 0 is nothing but 2 bytes of memory. For the A of 1, another 2 bytes of memory. For the A of 2, another 2. Like that, totally 20 bytes. Final element is A of 9. And these are stored in the consecutive memory location. That means adjacent memory location. You think that first address is 2000, second one is the 2002, third one is 2004, 2006, like that it stores. And here what happens, A is called the subscripted variable, and remember that this A contains the address, first address, that is 2000. If you are printing the A, then it is going to print the 2000. Okay, another point. Next point is here this A of 0 is first element, A of 1 is the second element. No, now these all are treated as the single variables also. You can use this as a single variables. Okay, that means I want to add this A of 0 plus A of 1. You can use this. Okay, so just I will tell you another one point about this. If you think that int A of 3. Okay, and here I want to assign the values. What do you mean by assigning the values? Giving values to this variable. That is nothing but what the assigning value. So you here what I am writing, it is 10, 20, 30. Like this you are going to assign the values to this variable. Here what happens? Actually assigning the, while declaring, if you are assigning the values, it is called initialization. What do you mean by initialization? Assigning the values to the variable when declaring. Here you are declared and you are assigning the values also. What happens, int A of 3 when you have taken means here A of 0 is your first element. Its value is equal to 10. A of 1 is equal to 20. A of 3 is equal to what happens? 30. Now it is just like a ABC, whatever if we have declared simply, but it is array. Okay, and you can use this as a simple variable. That means here you can write A of 0 is equal to A of 1 plus A of 3 plus 4, like that. If you want, you can use in your programs. Understood? Similarly, what happens if I want to read the float values, then you can declare here it is float and you can use here the float numbers. Okay, another one point I will tell you here. So you may have the one question, ma'am, if I will take the float just for the change, float S of 2. And what happens? Let us take the S of 4 just for clear understanding. And here what I will give, only 2 values I will assign. What happens to the others? Okay, what happens to the others? So here when you have declared float S of 4, just I will tell you how many memories are reserved for this one. S of 4 means total 4 variables, that is S of 0, S of 1, S of 2, S of 3. Totally 4 variables are reserved. What happens here? For S of 0, it will occupy, 10 is occupied for S of 0, 15 is occupied for the S of 1. And what about S2 and S3? If we have not given here, its value is assigned as 0. It's one option is when you are assigning the values, then it is possible. That means it is going to take the 0. But whenever you are using only the declaration, then what happens if you have not read the other values, the garbage value is stored. Okay. Similarly, I will write the one example for this is the example for the integer and this is the example for the float. Okay. Here, let us write the one example for char also. If I want to read the 3 characters, then how you are going to do that? I want to read the 3 characters. Here, you can easily write char a of 3 instead of int float. Here you are going to write char and here you can write it as y, e and s and the semicolon. So here a of 0 is nothing but it takes y, a of 1 is nothing but it takes e. Similarly, a of 2 is nothing but it takes s. Okay. So this is about what your introduction about the arrays. Okay. Please try to read the twice or thrice. If you are not able to understand, then you can ask me the question. Okay. Now I will write a one simple program using arrays. Let us hope the concept is clear. Now what is my intention is I want to first let us print a simple program. Print 5 numbers using array. Only let us print today. Okay, using arrays. Afterwards, we are going to add that numbers. I want to print the 5 numbers. What to do? And that to what I am telling means read the data from keyboard. Read the data from keyboard. Okay, these are not any let us take the 5 numbers. What I will take 10, 14, 15, 20, 90. Okay, these are the 5 numbers I want to read and print. What to do and how to start the program. So as usual, what you have to do means writing the program procedure is everything is same. That means first you have to write the comment line. How to write the comment line? Using the this forward slash and the star with the black. And next you have to write the, as usual, what you have to write? You write the library files. Okay. Usually we are using the library file that is hash include stdio.h. Okay. And next one is if we are doing the actually lab, we have to include the conio.h also. conio.h. And next the program is beginning with the main. After the main, you have to declare the variables. Here you are going to declare the array. So what I told, what is our aim? Our aim is to read the 5 integer value. I have to declare the integer array. So you can take any name. Here I am taking A only. How many integers I want to read? 5. Okay. Then what to do? So to read the value, usually we are using which statement? Scanf we are using. Okay, scanf %d. What should I write here? If you have declared only A, B, C, D, then here you are writing the A. So what to do means, to read the array, we have to take the one iteration scheme or the looping statement. What is that? This is the for. So in that, what I have to do means, for I is equal to 0, because we know that A of 0 is nothing but your first element. Okay. A of 0 is our first element. A of 1 is your second element. A of 2 is your third element. A of 3 is your fourth element. A of 5 is your fifth element. So for that, what I should do means, this should be increasing order, correct? And this should be varying from 0 to 5. You have to think which statement we have to use. We have to use the for statement. And another one thing here, if you are using the I, means I should be declared. Before using this variable also, it should be declared. I is of which data type? It is of the integer data type. So here I will take int A. Sorry, int I. Correct? Int I should take. Int I, and next I is equal to 0. So for A of 0, the first element. Next, what you have to do? First is initialization. Next is the test condition. What should be the test condition? I is less than 5. How many values we have to read? 5. So that is why I will take it as 5. And next, after reading the first value, it should increase. So that is why I will take the I plus plus. I plus plus is your increment operator. You have studied this in the increment operator. Okay, and here what you are going to write? Scanf percentage D. Sorry, ampersand D we have written here. Here we have to take the ampersand A of I. Okay, ampersand A of I and the semicolon. So here what you have taken? For I is equal to 0, initialization, test condition and the increment. Afterward, I want to read the number. So you have taken the scanf percentage D ampersand of A of I. Okay, and next for the printing also, what I should do means, I have to take the another for statement and I have to say that again I is equal to 0, I is less than 5 and I plus plus. And we know that to print the any value, you have to use the printf percentage D. What you have to take? Only A of I. Okay. And next, finally, you have to close the program. So you see how the values are going to read in the. So this green line what I have written, these two are used for reading input data. Okay, and in the orange color what I have written, this is used for the printing. Okay, what happens? You see here, when you have declared int A of 5, then what happens? Like this, the memory is allocated. Memory is allocated. Okay, how memory is? For A of 0, 2 bytes of memory. For A of 1, another 2 bytes. For A of 2, another 2 bytes. For A of 3, 2, totally 10 bytes of memory is reserved. For the 10 bytes of memory is reserved for this program. Okay, and actually it has the address. Let us say it has the address begin with the 2000, but actually just we are assuming this. Okay, we can't say that it is 2000, but if we want, we can see that also. Okay, that also you are studying in the next classes. 2002, 2004, 2006, 2008. Totally 10 bytes of memory is reserved. Okay, you see here what happens. So this is okay, and this I have declared one another one 2 bytes is reserved for this I variable. For I is equal to 0, what happens for I is equal to 0? It checks the condition. I value is how much? 0. 0 is less than 5. The condition is true. When the condition is true means it is going to execute the next statement. Okay, what is that? Scanf percentage d ampersand of a of 0. A of 0 is nothing but it is going to read the 2. That means you are going to enter this 2 value using the keyword. Sorry, that the value, it is not 2 bytes. So you are going to enter this 10. Correct? 10. That means I want to read the 10, 14, 15, 20 and the 19. No. So 10 you are going to enter by the keyword and it is stored here. 10 is stored. Next what happens? It is not going to come to the next line. Why? Because of this for statement. Okay, it is going to increment your I value. Now your I value is equal to 1. I plus plus. Initially I is 0. 0 plus plus is nothing but what? I is equal to I plus 1. That is 0 plus 1. Now your I value is equal to 1. I value is equal to 1. It is going to check the condition. 1 is less than 5. Yes, the condition is true. Once again the condition is true means it is executing this scanf function. Ampersand a of 1. Okay, it is going to read the a of 1. Then what you are doing? You are entering the 14. So for the a of 1, 14 is stored. Similarly, what happens? I is incremented. Now your, I is going to increment it. Next, correct. I is equal to 2. I plus plus. Initially it is 1 now. Okay, I plus plus 1 plus plus is nothing but what? 2. It checks the condition. 2 is less than 5. Once again the condition is true. Here a of 2. A of 2 is nothing but you are entering the 15. That 15 is stored here. Similarly, I is incremented as 2, 3 and check the condition. A of 3 you are entering 20, 90 and whenever your I value is equal to 4. Actually this is 4. I value is equal to 4. 4 plus plus is nothing but what? 5. 5 it is going to check the condition. Your condition is false. When the condition is false means it comes out of the loop. Okay, it comes out of the loop. Once again it executes the next statement after this for statement. Sorry, after this scan statement. What is this? Here you are saying that once again for I is equal to 0. Why we have to make the I equal to 0 means because I want to print the value of a of 0. Now our I value is equal to 5. Okay, if I want here I have taken directly that is printing means it is not possible. Okay. So here I have to say that I is equal to 0. Once again the procedure same. I is equal to 0. It checks the condition. 0 is less than 5. Condition is true. It is coming printf percentage d a of 0. A of 0 is which value? It is going to print the 12. Then I incremented. That means 0 plus plus is nothing but now your I value is equal to 1. For I is equal to 0, what happens? It is going to print 12. Now your I is equal to 1. I is equal to 1. Checks the condition. When it is true, it is coming here. A of 1 is going to print. A of 1 is nothing but it is going to print the 14. Then I is incremented as 2. I is equal to 2. So just you think when I is equal to 2, which value is going to print? A of checks the condition. Condition is true. It is going to print that I is equal to 2 is nothing but it is going to print 15. In that what happens? Similarly, it is going to print the 90. Okay. For this it is going to print the 90. Okay, like this it is going to print all the values. Whenever your I value reaches 5, when the condition is false, then it is going to execute the next statement after this print, that is end of the program. Okay, like this what happens? The process of the arrays is going on here. Okay, one another point here. So after the for we have to write the opening brace and the closing brace. Okay, but here I have not written. Why? This also I have explained, because after the for, if we have only one statement, then it is not necessary to use this opening brace and the end of the brace. Just to avoid confusions, I have not written, but if we have written, then also it is correct. But when you have written the opening brace and the end of the brace, remember that number of opening brace is equal to number of the end brace. Okay. So using this, just today you try to understand this concept. Tomorrow we are going to write more problems on the same array using the arrays we are writing the more problems. Okay. Meet in the next video.